remember doing my podcast when it was the Sam Skelly show, and there was so much resistance to it. There was so much resistance to the things that I was talking about, the guests that I was having on, even though they were amazing. I was having the same conversation over and over again. And I remember waking up one day and I was like, that's it, I'm done. And I put a pause on it. I didn't even know if I was going to come back to podcasting. I'd been doing it for years and I was like, this is great, but it's not, it doesn't have like the energy, the feeling, the like, that I want my work to have. Like I want my work to be fucking throbbing with energy. And if it's not that, I'm out. I'm like a 7 on the Enneagram. Like things got to be fun. Life's got to be a party. If life isn't a party, then I gotta go. So I told my team, I'm like, we need a rebrand. We need to do it over again. What do you guys think? So we were brainstorming with the epic marketing team at Pause Breathwork, and we were going through all these concepts and talking about all these different ideas. And we finally came to a name, and the team prepped it. We did the branding. It was this big rebrand to this entirely new podcast. And it made sense. It made sense for Pause Breathwork. It was the Embodied Life podcast. And we're going to talk about breathwork and somatic coaching and somatic healing. And it made perfect sense for the future of Pause and what Pause is all about. And it made so much sense for that avatar. So I sat down after months. This was like months of planning, months of prepping, months of branding, months of organizing, months of just like so much time, effort, energy, money being poured into this rebrand. And it was like the day for me to sit down and film the first couple episodes, similar to what I'm doing on this show. And I sat down in the chair and I just went, and I freaking cried my eyes out. And I just felt my heart sink. And my videographer was there looking at me like, this bitch is great. I'm just kidding. My videographer was like, what's going on? And I was like, I cannot do this. I'm like, I don't want to just pigeonhole myself in breathwork and somatic coaching. My evolution is something so much bigger than that. I'm like, I need a bigger box to play in. I'm like, I can't do this. And so I got up, we shut off the cameras, we went outside, I grabbed a Topo Chico, I sat with Eric, and I just cried. And I'm like, this is not the podcast that I'm supposed to be doing. And so I felt shitty because the entire team was behind this podcast for so long, so many months. And so the next day, I'm sitting with my speaking coach, who his episode is going to be on this show soon. And I was like, Patrick, I don't know about this. And he's like, you don't know about what? I'm like, the Embodied Life podcast. Like, it makes sense, right? It makes so much sense. It's what makes sense to do. But my gut, my body, my soul is screaming at me to not do it. And he looks at me, he's like, okay, well, what's up? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I just can't be contained. And we both look at each other in that moment as we're sipping our green juice outside on a patio in San Diego. And it was like, boom, there it is. And so this is the Can't Be Contained podcast. This is the new iteration of what type of content and what type of energy I want to bring to my show. The foundation of what I do will always be centered around breathwork and somatic coaching. Like, it's my vibe. It's what I do. It's what Pause does. I love it with every cell of my being. And what I believe to be true is the sense of can't be contained, the sense of not putting ourselves in a box. That's what allows us, like breathwork allows us the ability to not be contained. When we do breath work, when we release trauma, when we allow our limitations to dissipate and we really drop deeper into our bodies and we drop deeper into who we are, we get so deeply connected with that part of us that came here to express itself. And that part of us can't be put in a box. That part of us can't be contained. That part of us, in order for us to feel fully alive, fully fulfilled, fully free, we cannot be contained. So, pause, breath work. That is a part of me. And this show gets to represent the entire spectrum, all shades, all flavors. I want to bring on just all types of people, from musicians to entrepreneurs to entertainers to stay-at-home moms to people who truly are following their bliss and intuitive hits no matter what it freaking is. Maybe they are making beaded lizards and selling them at the Sunday markets in their local town, and they are so fucking lit up doing that. That's the type of people that I want to interview. Maybe they're people who are just on top of their game in entertainment or whatever it is, and they're known by the entire world. That's the type of people I want to interview. I want to interview people who are ruthlessly going after the thing that they desire, following their creativity, saying no to rules, saying no to being contained, saying no to the linear path that makes sense, and following the thing that lights them up from the inside out. We need people on this planet who have come fully alive and who are ruthlessly committed to the path of aliveness. And that's what Can't Be Contained is all about. And so my deepest desire for this show is that you listen to it, and day by day, moment by moment, breath by breath, you feel more inspired to say yes to the little nudges inside of you. You start to follow your hunches just a little bit more. You start to explore what life would look like when it's a soul-led life, what life would look like when you are following the path and the curriculum of your soul, and not doing the thing that makes sense for money or any other thing, but doing the thing that truly makes you feel alive. This podcast is not monetized. This podcast just cost me a crap ton of money, and I have no plans of making any money from it. And that's my honest truth. We don't have sponsors right now. That might change in the future, but right now we don't have sponsors. We've invested a crap ton of money in it, and I could not be happier. I could not be happier. I am so grateful to pour money into something that is my passion. I trust myself. I trust this community. I trust God. I trust that by following my bliss and intuitive hunches and just going balls to the walls on this show and just doing it exactly how I want to do it, making it feel so good, not doing it because of something or to get something or to have more app subscribers or to none of that. It's like, I just want to come here and show up fully as me and make the dopest content that hopefully inspires you, bring the coolest stories, the most compelling, exciting guests, not because they're necessarily always trending on social media, but because they're just epic people who have inspiring stories to share that you can listen to and be inspired by. And that is the whole vibe of the Can't Be Contained podcast. I really believe that awareness is our biggest teacher. When we have a thought or we have a message or a teaching in our awareness that someone has said once upon a time, it kind of just floats in our awareness and it gathers energy. It gathers momentum. And when that momentum speeds up and there's enough of that momentum, there's going to be a change that happens. And so it's not lost on me that everyone listening and everyone watching, everything that I'm saying is creating those little bubbles that have the ability to create momentum. And so my deepest desire for people is for people to truly unleash and be uncontained, allow themselves to live in the truest expression of what you are and who you are, whatever that is, and let your life's mission and let your life's journey not necessarily be about impacting other people first. I think that's great, but that can only happen when we fully become uncontained in who we are. You know, for many years of my career, when I was running my first company, Hungry for Happiness, I didn't include myself in the equation of world impact, of impact of other people. I would self-sacrifice and I would run the mission at the cost of my mental health constantly. And what I'm learning and what I'm prioritizing now is when I put myself not necessarily first in front of God, but when I put myself and prioritize my mental health and my body and my emotionality and my relationships, and I really reparent myself and soothe myself and love myself, then I have the capacity to go out into the world and really create impact, not from a place of trying to save everyone, but from a place of trying to share messages and insights. And so that is the intention of this show, is to share insights, to share knowledge, to share ideas of what is possible when we really truly get out of our own way and we really truly follow what feels good and believe in the mysticism and the magic and the brilliance of this earth, right? We did not come here to pay bills and die. We came here to live out our greatest life adventure. And so my deepest wish and my deepest desire is that this show serves as one little piece in your life that helps you find a deeper sense of you, helps you discover your soul just a little bit more, and sets you free in ways that you cannot yet imagine. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.